The situation in India's Jammu and Kashmir is tense. People in the region are suffering due to Pakistan-sponsored terrorism. Out of frustration, Pak-backed terrorists in the valley are killing innocent civilians and security personnel to create unrest in the valley. There have also been several clashes between the security forces and terrorists in the region in recent months. This week, before Prime Minister's visit to Samba, there is an encounter broken out there, in which 2 Jaish terrorists have been trapped and 1 security personnel has been killed. We have a report.
On April 22, a major attack took place in Jammu's Sunjwa area, where a bus carrying security personnel was attacked. The terror attack took place near an army installation in Jammu. Security forces retaliated and terrorists were forced to run away. 2 terrorists and 1 CISF Jawan were killed and 10 security personnel were injured in the attack. According to security officials, the terrorists eliminated appear to be Fidai attackers and were carrying a huge amount of ammunition.
ये इत्तला जम्मू कश्मीर पुलिस को अपनी एजेंसीज के साथ मिलकर के रात को मिली, जिसकी बुनियाद पर ये ऑपरेशन लॉन्च किया गया, जिसमें सीएसएफ, सीआरपीएफ और आर्मी की टुकड़ियां भी पुलिस के साथ थी। रात भर ये ऑपरेशन चलता रहा। रात को इन्होंने कोशिश की कि ये पुलिस का फोर्सेस का घेरा तोड़ करके बाहर निकल जाएं, जिसके दौरान हैवी फायरिंग हुई और उस फायरिंग के अंदर हमारा जो आउटर कार्डन में लगे हुए पुलिस के और सीएसएफ के जवान थे वो कुछ जख्मी हुए और जख्मियों में से एक सीएसएफ का एएसआई एसपी पाटिल, उसकी डेथ हो गई।
Pakistan-backed terrorists in the valley are not only attacking security personnel but also targeting innocent civilians in the region. India's union territory of Jammu and Kashmir has seen a sudden wave of targeted killings in recent months. In March alone, Kashmir witnessed at least 8 targeted killings, creating fears in the minds of people. In a view of the spike in targeted killings in the region, Indian security forces have eliminated several Pakistan-backed terrorists in the valley, following all devious agendas of Pakistan. In a recent shootout on April 14, Indian security forces neutralized 4 Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorists in Shopian district that were linked to the recent attacks on migrant workers and civilians. Based on specific input, a cordon and search operation was launched in Badigam village of Shopian region. During the operation, the terrorists fired upon the forces, which led to an encounter. The police have identified the terrorists as Akif Farik Tokar, Wasim Ahmad Tokar, Farooq Ahmad Bhatt and Shokeen Ahmad Mir. Police also recovered arms and ammunition from the site of the encounter. The encounter comes against the backdrop of an increase in targeted attacks on civilians, non-locals and elective representatives in the region.
कल रात में हम लोगों को खबर मिला था कि शोपियान के बड़ी गांव विलेज में 4 से 5 टेररिस्ट छिपे हुए। तो आज ऑपरेशन लॉन्च हो गया आर्मी के साथ। तो सर्च के दौरान फायरिंग शुरू हो गया, जिसमें अभी तक लश्कर तोबा का लोकल 4 टेररिस्ट मारे गए हैं और अभी सर्च कर रहे हैं। हम लोग का अंदेशा है एक दानिश है, वो भागा हुआ है, उसको भी हम खोज रहे हैं।
The latest incident of ongoing targeted killings in Kashmir is the cold-blooded murder of Manzoor Ahmed Bangru. Manzoor was his sarpanch and he was shot dead by terrorists in Baramulla district on April 15. He is the 4th panchayat member to be killed by terrorists in Kashmir since last month. On March 9, an independent sarpanch, Sameer Bhatt, was shot dead on the outskirts of Srinagar. A week earlier, terrorists killed a panchayat member, Mohammad Yaqub Dar, in Srandu area of Kulgam district. Manzoor's killing serves as a grim reminder of how, in the garb of waging armed struggle, Pakistan-backed terrorists are hell-bent on converting what is otherwise considered paradise on earth into a living hell. Their motto is simple and clear, that is to infuse fear and unpredictability among the people, and also make the Indian nation know that they exist.
These sort of random killings have been going on after Article 370 was abrogated, and this is because there are the other people who were trained and who were picking up arms and all are now either eliminated or have gone underground. Now these people are those overground workers whom ISI has now directed to do these targeted killings of all non-Muslims over there, whosoever is there. Earlier it was some Kashmiri Pandit, now this boy was a driver from some other state who was there. This is just to give a message across and also to make headlines that Kashmir Valley is not free from terrorism, and now the challenge before security forces is to get hold of all these overground workers, to ensure that once these underground workers are caught and put behind bars, then only will Kashmir Valley be free from all terrorism and militancy.
Thousands of Kashmiris have lost their lives in proxy wars orchestrated by Pakistan, and they continue to suffer due to terrorist groups supported by the Pakistan Army and spy agency, the ISI. Islamabad is unlikely to end its proxy war in Kashmir because it's the most cost-effective way of bleeding India through 1,000 cuts. Hence, authorities in Kashmir need to tackle the situation. Jammu and Kashmir police and security forces have to work in synergy as hard intelligence is required to tackle the situation. There is an urgent need to break the chain of these attacks.